Hey, it's Rob from Skid Steer Genius, and I just want to show you something that's new for coming into 2026. This is a pre-release of a product that we've developed for people who have graders that want to add laser controls to them and they don't have enough controls on their machines. So in this instance, I'm actually building this up for a customer up in Canada, and I've got a few little things that I'm doing for him. Since he's got a John Deere, I have to rewire the main harness to match the John Deere controls. Also, he has a P Series, so it has 8 controls on there. So we're actually able to use all of his controls for a Bobcat grader, which gives us our left, up, down, angle, and side shift right off of his stick controls. Then the only thing he's missing is we're going to have to add one of our new controllers. This is one of our Smart Series controllers. And what this does is enables him to push his side shift buttons, both of them at the same time. And what it's going to do is it will switch on an extra circuit that's latching that will run his lasers. So let me give the rundown of what we've got here to look at. So this is our GW harness. This is the standard harness. If you had a Bobcat grader and you wanted to be able to run it on any kind of 14-pin attachment, we developed this about 5-6 years ago. And it's meant to plug into the Bobcat controller and piggyback off of there. And then it has a separate side shift set of plugs, and that's it. That's normally all you need, and then you would run one of our super controllers because most machines don't have enough controls. In this case, he wants to run external lasers, so he needs to be able to power these lasers. So this is our GRX harness, and what this does is this replaces the plug-in coming off the Bobcat. So this, you now wouldn't be plugged into the Bobcat controller, you would plug directly into this harness. These go directly to the solenoids and drive each solenoid for each control. And then this piggybacks in and allows you to add this on the side of the grader. And now you can take a 14-pin, take your lasers, your receivers, and connect that all up. And now you can plug right into this and you'll get your power and control and your back feed back to your solenoids right through this connector. So that makes things super easy. Now in this case, we're going to run this not with a super controller. We're going to run this on a John Deere P Series, which has 8 button controls on his machine, but he needs that extra control that's latching. So he gets power out of here and he actually gets the pin control, but now we have to splice into the system. We have to splice one of these controllers in. And it's super simple, and I'm going to show you how to do this right on the bench. So you see a nice close-up of exactly how we do this, because what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to kit this with these accessories, and there's not much to it. You buy these 2 items and then you buy these accessories and you'll be able to adapt this in the field to be able to run on your specific machine. Now, if you don't have enough controls, we also have little switch packs that you can add into your machine, and I'm going to cover that under some other videos. But that will take like a 6-channel machine, give you the extra 2 channels or possibly 4 channels. If you want to do a double switch pack, you can add that in your machine, and now you'll have the extra controls as well without having to use a super controller. Now, super controller is a great alternative. Lots of people like to do that, but the handles on these new machines are getting bigger and more complicated, so now we're starting to run out of space. So in that instance, you may want to just try and run right off your stick. So let's get a good close-up of what we're looking at here. Again, this is our GW harness that you normally would take these and plug them directly into your Bobcat controller, but now we're not going to use it that way. We're going to use it in our harness, which is going to be for our laser receivers. And literally, you just plug it straight in. Okay. Then this is the parallel pigtail that goes off to the 14-pin. Okay, so this is where you're going to interface your top cons, your Futuras, whatever. You're going to interface that to this, and that's going to give you your parallel control back to your solenoids. So again, this is all plug and play. Like, look at how easy this is. Imagine just doing this out in the field on your machines. I mean, this is super simple to do. We even put magnets on this, so you can literally just reach around on the side of the grader and pop this in. These are 225-pound magnets, so they're going to pop right on. It's going to hold it on there. Now, if you want to mount it permanently, you just unscrew these magnets, and you can run a tap screw right through here and tap it right onto the frame. or we even are sending the nut and lock washer. If you want to bore drill the side of the grader and install this right through, and then screw the nut on there and hold it, you can do that as well. And there's the dust cap. So that's how simple this is. Now let's look at the accessories. So these are accessories that you're going to need if you do not have enough control to be able to switch the lasers on and off. And so what we have here is, this is the actual controller. What this does is you have to push, you push on two of your controls. So in this case, we're going to use our side shift, and they're wide into that connection. So we use these two little Y adapters. We plug these in. This plugs into the side shift on here, okay? And then this plugs back into the solenoids. Okay, so now you've got this white off. But now this needs one extra thing for it to function, is it needs power. So that's where these two other accessories come in here. What we have to do is we have to pull power off of the main harness. So we're going to take this main harness and we're going to use these little splicers, and we're going to pop them on, and we're going to pull power and ground off of the main harness. And then this other one, what this does is, this is the actual output, and this is going to go off and splice back into the wire set so that it comes out on pin A, because this pin A is what we use for our manual to auto control. So it's actually, I mean, once I show you what colors that you're going to splice onto and then plug in, like, that's it. It's ready to go. So this is a pretty simple operation. I have customers that have talked to me that they've worked with dealers and all the laser manufacturers, reps, and they've worked on this for months and months and months and never came up with a good solution. They've got this big jerry-rig thing where, if you look at how simple this is, once it's done and you've installed it and you've tucked it up underneath inside the machine, it's super simple and it's ready to go. So just have a look, and I'm going to take you through each step now of putting the accessory on, and then I'm going to run a live test for you and show you how it works. I just moved everything out of the way, and I'm going to show you how simple this is. This little 6-pin here, this is our power and ground connection. So all I'm going to do is use these little lugs here, and because I want to be able to pull power off of here, I'm going to do it a little bit higher on here so that, oops, there it goes. Just got to give it a lock. Okay, do it a little higher here so I can put a zip tie around it just to hold it together. I like to offset them so they're slightly out of the way of each other, so I don't have all the wires running into each other. So I do this. Okay, so that's my connection for my power and ground. And so I've got this accessory right here. I just match white to white. Okay, I match black to black. Okay, and now I've got power to run this controller. Okay, so now the next thing is I need to put my output in here. And what we're going to do is this small connector, not the big one, see the big one here? This small connector right here, we're going to tap off the orange wire. The orange wire is our A connection. So when we connect into this, this will go out to pin A on here, and that is our trigger for our manual auto. So I'm going to go into this orange wire, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to put a little splice, actually I'm going to put a splice lug on this one. Okay, so here's my main cable. These are my CAN interface cables. Well, it's actually, this one's power and ground, and this is the CAN interface that would normally go into the Bobcat controller. And then these are my side shift cables. Okay, they're that simple. You literally just unplug the ones from the controller and you plug these straight into the side shift solenoids. And that's all marked on some of the videos that I've done already of installing this cable. So it's pretty straightforward. You can go back and look at some of the other videos. You can see these two connectors where they connect, and you can see these. Okay, we push that aside. These are the Ys that you're going to add. And this just represents my side shift. So normally these would just be plugged in here. All you're going to do is unplug them. You're going to plug these in. and here and here. Okay. So those are my side shift solenoids. And then that's going to go off to our smart controller. And our smart controller, this is the thing that's going to allow you to switch from manual to auto, because this is adding an extra control. So we've got the two inputs, and it's monitoring each input, but it doesn't do anything until you push 2 and hold them for 6 seconds. And then I need a power source. Okay, so my power source is going to come later from my GRX cable. So this is the GRX cable. This is the cable that's for the actual interface to your laser receivers. And it comes in 2 pieces, so maybe I should just pull it apart first so it's easier to work with. And I've got these. So now, actually, when you install one of these, you unplug all the Bobcat cables and you plug these in. These are all marked. It shows you right angle, left angle, angle, left and right, and then left, up, down. So that's all marked on these. So you just plug them straight in. Again, we have all this in our FAQ. We also have it on videos. It shows you exactly how to do this. And then these are the interface cables. So here's my power and ground. Plug those in. Here's my CAN cable that I had plugged into the Bobcat controller. And here's my power. So I have everything hooked up right now, so that's why it's live. Here's my power for this. And then this is the output, and this goes off to pin A. So this goes off and triggers pin A, and then here is my interface to my 14 pin for my laser receivers. Again, if you notice, I'm just plugging things in. I'm not having to wire or do anything here at all. Okay, the only thing that I did have to add, which I showed you earlier in the video, is I had to add this wire here, which is my input going off to A, and then this is my power and ground to give this box some power. Okay, and that's that simple. Now I'll put my tester on here. You can watch how it all works. Okay, so you see I've got power on K. That's something I need. Okay, here's my test box, my output. So here's C and D. You notice it's only triggering the outputs on the main wires to the coils. It's not doing anything on the box here, and that's because this box is monitoring what's happening at the receiver interface, and you don't need left and right for that to angle the blade. What you do need is left, up, down. So here's left, up, down. You'll notice here it is at the interface, here it is at the coils. Now we go to right, up, down. Same thing. See, it's triggering here at the interface, it's also triggering at the coils. Then we come all the way down to side shift. Okay, see I'm triggering my side shift. Now I hold them for 6 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now there I have A coming on. And that is my auto. A is my auto. When I want to turn it off, just hold it for a few seconds, and it goes off. Okay, so it's that simple. This looks like a lot, looks like a rat's nest, but if you just sit down and look at everything, it all plugs in really, really easily, and it's really easy to get it all up and going. Really, it takes you the most time is just kind of running the wires and zip tying everything up. Otherwise, everything goes together pretty quick.